citizens arrest. Citizens arrest.
The first rule of
The Entertainment Roundtable.
is you do not talk about
The Entertainment Roundtable.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Gentlemen, you have my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
I am the smartest man alive.
How much clearer can I say? There's always money in the banana stand!
Idiot! God, so stupid. What a dumb question.
This is madness! This is
The Entertainment Roundtable.
It's time!
Wow. Talk about springing something on Jeff.
I know new stuff. All this new stuff in the intro. I like it.
Welcome into the Entertainment Roundtable for a Saturday. Hope everything is going well with you. Ryan is on the phone. Ryan went to go see Insidious Part 2. We'll get his impression of that here in just a little bit. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I am doing very well, Steve. How is everyone doing?
We're doing well. Jeff over there getting shocked, surprised, and having the rug pulled out from under him with our new intro.
But in a good way.
Yes. Jacob doing a fantastic job on that. Thank you very much, Jacob.
No problem. Do what I can.
David, Josh, everything well?
Oh, it's going great.
We had a glitch here. We were that close, man.
We were there.
We were that close.
So close.
Still working with the Irwin brothers on the movie Mom's Night Out. Still slated for Mother's Day-ish next year.
Yep.
I thought we were going to get to see a preview.
Yeah.
Thought we were going to see
a
a rough cut.
Steve almost got a preview.
And then I got to see the background and how things have changed at movie theaters.
Behind the scenes.
I mean, there is no longer any film. It's all digital.
Oh, yeah. There's like no film in the U.S. anymore.
Yeah.
All digital cinema prints.
I watched one of the Irwin brothers walk in with this big waterproof case, and when he opened it up, it's this hard drive that you just plug into the projector, and all of a sudden, there's your movie, and I'm like, holy moly.
I know. It's like
everything's changed.
Why I was so upset when I saw The Dark Knight last year, and it messed up. I'm like, how can it mess? There's no film to get caught anywhere. Why did the picture go out?
It did?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Well, we did that. Was it the Mortal Instruments that we went to go see, and it was like 10 minutes late because they had a computer glitch earlier in the day?
I think.
And they were trying to play catch up throughout the day?
I think so.
I think it was Mortal
something like that.
Everything's just changed. There's no, you will no longer be able to go and get a movie cell and be able to frame it and put it up on your wall.
This is what I was talking to a guy at Carmike Cinema last night, one of the executives there, and I said, what happens to dollar theaters now? Like,
yeah, really.
And he said, yeah,
they have
right
to
now
their systems.
They're crappy projectors and stuff, but they play digital cinema prints. So I guess it's better quality than how the film gets all grainy and gross.
Right.
But he said they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
Soon. They're not going to be around for a while.
Wow. All right, before we get into the meat of it, I want to remind everybody you can check us out several different ways. Social media, Facebook page for the show, whatever with Steve West. Hey, we figured out we can link that to the Twitter account. We have a Twitter account as well, right, Jacob?
We do. It is at 101 Roundtable, and I do need to still link that. I haven't done that yet.
So we're getting there slowly but surely. We're dragging
eventually.
Ourselves into about, 2010? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Exactly.
All right, so yeah, but you can contact us either one of those two ways. And as far as the top 10 movies the last weekend here, you can tell we're definitely into the fall. The amount of money per week going into theaters has gone well downhill. In at number 10, World's End still making $2.3 million, 21.8. Blue Jasmine, the Woody Allen film, another $2.3 million. 25.1 for that. Percy Jackson still hanging in there, made about $2.5 million.
Can't believe that one's still in there.
Yeah. Well, here's the one I can't believe is still in there. Elysium. 3.1 million, 85.1. One Direction, This Is Us. Apparently the few teenagers that didn't see it in its debut weekend went to go see it last weekend. $4 million, 23.9. Planes. This is one of the bigger surprises for me because most people were underwhelmed by this when they said, oh, this is coming out in theaters. Really, it is. 4.1 million, 79.1.
Yeah, there's just a lack of kids' movies in the market right now. So
That's true.
I feel like if you're going to bring your kids to a movie, this is the only movie available.
Yeah, my nephew's birthday was Tuesday, so they took him to his first movie, and it was Planes.
That's
That's about all it was playing.
Yeah. That's
he loved it.
unfortunate way to start your movie watching career.
I could see a kid, how old?
5.
5 years old. I could see a 5-year-old kid loving it.
The only...
and talking about an anti-kids movie, we're the Millers. 7.6 million, 123.6. And then there's the film that we talked a little bit about last week. Went from 400 to 700 screens.
It went to a little under 400 screens, making about $7 million on opening weekend.
Yeah.
Since then, they expanded it this weekend or last weekend to about 717 screens.
8.1 million. It's now at 20.4. Number 3 film on the week, and it
went up. It was number 5 in its first week, and it's gone to number 3.
A film with all subtitles.
You know,
is it all subtitles?
Well, yeah, there's some English-speaking roles in it because it's about a Spanish guy who comes to the U.S. to find his daughter's mom.
And I have yet to read or hear one bad thing about this film.
No, I read all the Rotten Tomatoes reviews. It's only 66, but it's still high for foreign film, and everybody loves it. And have you seen the trailer for it?
No.
Watch the trailer. It's actually pretty interesting looking. At first, I'm like, I'm not going to watch a foreign film, but then I saw the trailer and I was like, I would watch this movie.
Wait, even know? Is it even here?
Yeah, no, it's at the 716. They're just playing.
So it's in the Birmingham area.
You actually said to yourself, "I'm not watching a foreign film, dude. Just you know what? Your mic's off. You're out.
I'm gonna leave."
You want to come into a movie show and say, "I don't watch foreign."
Well, I have noted ever since we put you two on separate sides of the glass again. There's
It's
a lot
the
more
animosity
there.
When we're closer, there's this brotherly love thing, but when the glass, immediately he becomes like that monkey that I prod behind the glass.
Maybe it's because they can both kind of see their own reflections in the mirror, in the glass. They both have self-loathing issues.
Is that
what it is?
Is that what it is?
We hate ourselves. But no, it looks like a pretty decent film. Something interesting. The main actor, I wish I had his name in front of me. It's a Spanish name. He's one of the top actors in Mexico.
Okay.
He's well respected in the U.S. as well because he plays in a lot of movies as well that are in the U.S. It's usually not predominant roles; they're kind of like sidekick roles. But he's one of the most popular actors in Latin America. And what they say is his crossover appeal is being able to appeal to like the American Spanish audience. So maybe that's their niche. Maybe that's how they kind of discover this whole audience that.
Well, it's grabbing an audience. There ain't no doubt about that.
Goodness gracious, especially for a $5 million movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Lee Daniels, The Butler, made another 8.4, so 91.4. Chances are it's going to be close to, if not over, 100 million by this time.
Oh my goodness.
Next week.
I need to go watch that.
And then you got Riddick, debuting at number 1 for $19 million.
Nice.
Really? You think so?
It makes me happy, man. I haven't seen the film. I plan on doing that.
3 of us here have.
Oh, really?
Bad? We're going to start with Jeff. Because Jeff was actually the one who prompted
went?
Jacob and I to go see it.
Yeah, I hardly ever hear you of going to movies.
Jeff likes Pitch Black.
Jeff likes Riddick.
Jeff likes Chronicles of Riddick. Jeff liked the first 25 minutes of Riddick, when it's just Riddick and his space dog having adventures on this planet. And then the other people arrive, and somebody needs to check David Twohy because he may have suffered a stroke writing the script when he got to that part, because it is, oh my God. I'm not going to, spoil any specifics. Let's just say it is nothing but one long measuring contest between all these mercenaries, including Starbuck.
Yeah.
We're
talking the new Starbuck from the redone
Katie
Battlestar
Sackhoff.
Galactica. Yeah.
And Riddick, the ultimate, space bad whatever.
Uh-huh.
Instead of,
himself.
Edit!
Instead of
bleep.
We'll catch that in post-production.
Let's just say that
we do post-production?
The entire
That's
film.
why I said not.
The entire film is plot-driven. Nothing anyone does makes any sense. He hatches one of the most stupid, insane, convoluted plans to get off this planet I have ever seen. And it's just so they can have a movie. And it's terrible.
I found it interesting that you said plot.
It's terrible.
Because I'll get to my review in a minute. Ultimate rating?
I'm not even going to dignify it with a number.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. Okay,
Wow.
Tell you what.
All right, go for it.
First 20 minutes is a solid 8.
Yeah.
After that, I'm just never going to watch anything after the mercenaries arrive again.
All right, Jacob, agree, disagree? Where are you going?
I'm going to avoid the obvious pun you can make with this movie title. This was probably one of the worst movies I've seen this year. The writing, the dialogue is some of the worst dialogue I've seen in a movie ever. It was like a 13-year-old wrote the script and was just trying to add in cool cuss words and sexual innuendos just to be cool, but didn't know how to use any of them properly. And it makes no sense that you would use some of the words that they would use. I mean, I can live with some adult language, but I mean, it literally is adult language for adult language's sake. I mean, there's no point to it in the movie. The plot is god awful. I agree with Jeff. The first few minutes of the movie, when it's just him kind of fighting, these creatures on the planet that he's on. That's kind of cool. But then past that, it's just once the other human type characters arrive, it's just terrible. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10.
Whoa. There you
And previous to this, you said Elysium was the worst film you'd seen this year. You gave that a what?
I think I gave it a 2.
Okay.
All right. Elysium had that evil guy with the weird South African accent. That was fun to watch.
Not fun. That guy was
just a flesh wound.
He made me. He was. Never mind. Done.
Yeah, there you go.
I really can't add anything on to Jacob. I echo everything, except I was kind of curious as to whether the guy who wrote the script was as old as 13.
That's true.
I will say this, though. Dave Bautista did well with what he had to work with. The bigger guy.
It was, he had nothing to work with.
I mean, he had the one cool line after everybody arrives, which is, yeah, let's go ahead and untie him.
They saw, yeah, really. They saw two things. I saw two things that could have made this movie cool. They took one aspect out of Blade Runner, the narration, over it, which could have been good. And the first 20, 25 minutes that you're talking about where he lands on the planet, and by the way, Carl Urban better be thanking his agent that he got that little itty-bitty bit part that only kept him in the movie for like the first 3 minutes, and then he was done.
He was in the good part.
He ought to be thanking his agent to no end, because he was in the best part. Okay? Him kind of getting to tame the dog creature and fight the scorpion through reminded me a lot of the movie Enemy Mine. Really enjoyed that. Once he got past that, yeah, you're right, off the deep end. If you want to do what you did, Jeff, I would say probably you were about right, 7 to 8. So we'll go 7.5 for the first half an hour of the film, and then it drops to a 1.
You're giving it a
number? I'm going to give it the average of 3.5.
So I'm taking everything you guys have said, and I'm just thinking, so they made Pitch Black again?
No,
I don't even think they did that good.
I watched Pitch Black before I went to see this the night before. No, Pitch Black's dialogue is Shakespearean compared to the crap that we're spewing in this movie.
Because Pitch Black's dialogue was awful.
Trust me, it is.
If you ever do see this,
I will.
You'll realize where we're coming from.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Pitch Black is a masterpiece.
It
compared
made
to
me
this.
sad too, man. I love good pulp, and this is terrible, terrible drivel.
In the words of Kung Fu Panda, there is now a level 0.
Yeah,
with this film.
It is. It's pretty bad. As far as movies coming out this weekend, 2 of them. David, you've seen one. Ryan, you've seen the other. We'll go with you first here because it's been a little while since we heard from you. Insidious, Chapter 2. You got Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, round 2 with a story about a childhood secret continuing to haunt the Lambert family. Tell us about it. What's your take on this?
For Insidious Chapter 2, I thought the director of this film, James Wan, he previously directed the first film as well as The Conjuring, which was very, very well done from earlier on in the summertime. This one, while genuinely, it had some scares, good thrills and chills, I just found it to be just not as good as some of his previous work. So there were some good parts with the main cast. I mean, Rose Byrne, Patrick Wilson, especially, and Barbara Hershey. Oh, my gosh. Those 3 were incredible. Do not get me wrong. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for a good thriller, go out and see it. But I would kind of recommend The Conjuring over this one. And the other thing is, I have not seen the first installment, so I was going into this already behind the 8 ball. So one of these days I am going to sit down, watch the first Insidious, and maybe more of the gaps will be filled in, and I'll understand it even more clearly. So at the end of the day, I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10 for Insidious Chapter 2.
Okay, let me go back here, Jeff. You said that you really liked the movie You're Next.
I did.
Based upon what Ryan said, you probably would say You're Next would be your better bet?
I would. You're Next it's a fun movie.
Okay.
A lot of people don't think about that when they think of, a horror. It is really, really fun. It loves the tropes and it uses them well, but it also puts a fresh spin on a few of them while at the same time really staying true to what you expect from that movie. But it is funny.
Okay, so if you're looking for a thriller and you can find You're Next because it's starting to back out of theaters pretty quick, if you're stuck between the 2 choices.
Is The Conjuring still in theaters?
You might be able to find it like a dollar theater. And then you got The Family, Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tommy Lee Jones, film about a mob family put into the witness protection program, not settling into their lives all that well. And it looks like, especially with the star power you got, and the previews seem to show it to be a quite funny film. What you think, David?
It is. It's very funny. There are a few real problems. Like De Niro and Tommy Lee Jones, they do wonderful jobs. But when you get to Michelle Pfeiffer and the kids, they lose their Brooklyn accent. Like the first scene, they have very thick Brooklyn accents, and then the next scene they don't have them at all, and it kind of goes back.
Syndrome is kicked in.
Yes, it goes back and forth. The climax wasn't as interesting as the trailer would lead you to believe, and the way that the mob finds these guys, because they're in a witness protection program being moved all over the world. Mm-hmm. The way the mob finds these guys just completely took me out of the movie.
But did you laugh?
I did laugh.
Okay.
I give it a 5 out of 10. It did make me laugh. It was delightful. Pretty sure there's probably going to be a sequel.
Nice.
Yeah, we talked about this off the air, but just before we got ready to go into the show, and you said this thing, it looks like they've set it up to leave that ending enough to the point where you could work your way right and kind of continue the storyline.
I would say yes, but then again, when the movie opens, they've already been doing this routine for about 6 months. So they've been moving to different cities and wreaking havoc, and then so it could be a standalone.
Okay, and it just kind of depends. I mean, comedies can kind of come down. You never know. At some point in time, Jacob and I are going to have promised ourselves we're going to try and see it this weekend. So we'll let you know.
Wait, this weekend?
Yeah,
this weekend.
It's Friday the 13th. You got to watch something scary.
That's not happening.
Dude, it's Friday the 13th.
Jacob doesn't do scary.
I've already seen Scary.
You know what?
I've seen Scary boring. It was called Riddick.
Michelle Pfeiffer without makeup? That's enough.
Well, that might do it too. Out in limited release, if you're so interested and can find it, movies like Kate Bosworth and While We Were Here, Blue Caprice starring Isaiah Washington and Joey Lauren Adams, got GMO OMG, don't know what that is, Herb and Dorothy 50 by 50, which is kind of some sort of documentary style love story from what I can tell. Movies called Informant. You've got the all-star cast and Robert Duvall, Billy Bob Thornton, and Kevin Bacon, a movie that is supposedly set here in Alabama called Jane Mansfield's Car. The last time I saw Macau, Mademoiselle C, Mother of George, and Wadja. That's a foreign film.
Got to be foreign.
It is.
Josh won't see it.
Nope.
When there's a lot of consonants in a row, that's got to be foreign.
Yeah. I'd like to buy a vowel, please. And in theaters out next week, Prisoners with Hugh Jackman, among others.
That's good.
And apparently the re-release in IMAX of The Wizard of Oz comes out next week.
Wow.
Yeah. So
cool.
That's what you can look forward to. What you got? What you got? Okay. When we come back here, we'll get into some movie news here, not the least of which, breaking news. Just before we started the show today, we found out some more casting news about not the second, but the third installment of the Hunger Games. We'll let you know about that.
Very cool.
Coming up.
You're listening to the Entertainment Roundtable on Superstation 101. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming, the Entertainment Roundtable on Superstation 101.
I often find it quite amazing the things that we find in the system here at the radio station, but it comes in really handy when it comes to doing a show like this and we're looking for songs that come off the soundtracks. You'll actually hear a version, not this version. This is the original pop music by the group M. Yeah, there's a cover of it that's in the movie The Family.
Why would you cover this song?
I have no idea.
Because it's awesome.
Does sound awesome.
It's very 80s pop cheese.
I'm delighted by it.
All right, here we go. Jacob, let's get into this here. And let's go back, and I didn't realize you could, go back to the world of Harry Potter, but Warner Brothers seems to be wanting to do this. How? Because there aren't any more books, so how are they going to do it?
Well, Warner Brothers Entertainment has announced, quote-unquote, an expanded creative partnership with J.K. Rowling, and at the center of the said partnership is a new film series based on the textbook Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It was in I think the first Harry Potter movie. It was a textbook you could get. It says Rowling of the first film in the planned series, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, is neither a prequel nor a sequel to the Harry Potter series, but extension of the wizarding world. Rowling will also be writing the screenplay for the film. Fantastic Beasts will be about the alleged author of the book, Newt Scamander, and will begin 70 years before the first events in the Harry Potter books.
What do you want to bet that there's a reference towards the end of the film to Harry Potter?
I'm sure there will be.
Oh, yeah, they'll have to weave it in. They'll have to get something the fans
Importantly, this is what it sounds like when you milk a cow.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed. Ryan, G.I. Joe, another one. They got a hard time getting this thing off the ground. It's a franchise that they want to. They keep trying. They keep coming back for more. So on this new one, we know who's going to be writing it. Is this going to be an improvement?
Well, I guess only time's going to tell. Snow White and the Huntsman alum Evan Darty has been hired to write the new script for G.I. Joe 3, with the original director John M. Chu returning, as well as The Rock and Bruce Willis returning.
When do they want to try and get this thing out?
Either by next year, or we're probably thinking more of 2015, as if 2015 isn't already crowded enough.
See, that's what I was thinking. This, considering the fact that we've had two which really haven't flown very far, this thing probably is a 2015 release. It's got the potential of getting swamped.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it can't get any worse than the second one.
Hey, when you got The Rock in there, you know you're going to get some good laughs and some good action from him.
You didn't get that in the second one.
Well, I disagree.
Well, apparently the rest of the country kind of disagreed with you, Ryan. So I have to admit, that's kind of why I was surprised that they decided they're going to greenlight a third one. But they're going to keep trying, I guess, for a little while.
But be a leader, Ryan. Stand on your own.
What's it going to take here for them to finally say, you know what, G.I. Joe's not a live-action franchise?
I think it could be. They're just not doing it well.
Yeah, exactly.
Where would you go with this? If, David, you were put in charge of this, where would you go?
I would pass it off to someone else because I'm not well versed in G.I. Joe.
No, I mean, let's just say you have the ability to pick a writer, a director, a producer, whatever. Who are you going to?
Oh my gosh, man!
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
I'm with.
He already ruined one toy series.
With G.I. Joe, it would probably go a little more realistic, a little more Saving Private Ryan type of thing, but keep the sci-fi elements.
All right. So in other words, just kind of play a little bit into the sci-fi arena, try and make it as plausible as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much did they? Which one was the last one? G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Retaliation.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop making these things until they stop making money, and they made money.
What did it make?
They made
well,
money.
it made 122 million domestic, and then 249 foreign. It's not great.
What do you think it cost
130.
to make?
It cost 130.
Okay, so they almost broke even here.
Almost broke even and
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how much they did on DVD, and for a film that size, you don't know how much they cost marketing. So
that's true.
And by the way, I just want to say to Jacob, this is Hollywood. It could always get worse.
That's true. It can always get worse.
You know what I would do? I would if I was in charge of the G.I. Joe franchise, I would trash the previous two because they suck.
Yeah, start over.
And then I would go Christopher Nolan on Batman with G.I. Joe and make it realistic. I'd make it like when he pitched the Batman to, I think it was Warner Brothers, was it?
Yeah.
Who was it? He said, "I'm going to make Batman real," and this comes from the Tim Burton Batmans. All these this was the Batmans we all knew,
right?
Which is this highly characterized, not based in this world kind of movie.
Well, and we said
then he
this
took Batman and he made it real.
We said this about the last one that they just did. Effectively, that was a war movie that happened to have Batman in it.
He was,
yeah,
and that was the way he pitched it. And
exactly.
And who knows where they'll go with the new Superman, where Zack Snyder will go with the new Superman Batman thing.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
But yeah, so I would have made G.I. Joe. I would just scrap the previous two films. Hopefully people forget it and reinvent it.
Okay.
Make it real.
All right. Jacob, let's go to you here. Ellen Page, she's portrayed a person, speaking of superheroes, she's portrayed a person with superhero capabilities. She's set to do it again?
Yeah, Paige, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Paige is now in talks to star in the new film Queen and Country, which is based on the book of the same name by Greg Rucka, Steve Rolston, Brian Hurt, and Leandro Fernandez. The new film centers on Tara Chase, a field agent working for the UK Secret Intelligence Service. Her missions take her all around the world to protect Queen and Country. The story will see Chase perform an assassination and be forced on the run when her identity becomes compromised.
British Secret Intelligence Service, would that be MI5 or MI6?
Probably MI5.
Scotland Yard.
I don't know.
I mean, we're edging into James Bond territory here, aren't we?
British
well-
Intelligence is MI6, isn't it?
Well, Rucka, the comics he writes usually are more real world type stuff, spy, crime type stuff.
So this one actually could be grounded a little bit more in
it'll probably more like
reality.
Yeah.
As opposed to, pure superhero flying
Closer to
capability and stuff
Bond
like that.
than
You familiar
X-Men.
with the character?
I haven't read it, but I sort of know of the book.
Okay. All right. Ryan, let's go to Marvel here. Planning on attacking the summer of 2015 in a big way. We knew Avengers Age of Ultron going to be early summer. They're talking, what, May?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As opposed to the fall and winter, however, they're going to move up one of those films into the summertime. Give us the details.
Yes, sir. They have decided to move the Marvel film known as Ant-Man from November 6th of 2015 to July 31st of 2015. They wanted to change the date and make it show up earlier because, and I think I know why they did this, because they knew that Bond 24 is going to mop the floor with anything that gets in 007's way, and they want Ant-Man to have a decent run.
That's going to be a big one. Yeah, it will be a big one for the winter. But number two, I think this might be setting a table, because we now know Robert Downey Jr.'s pretty much ready to step out of the Iron Man outfit, which means probably this round of the Avengers as we know them may be coming to an end. Maybe they're getting ready to introduce some new characters to try and keep that franchise going. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility because, as we all know, his contract expires after Avengers 3.
Yeah. So, and he's not going to do another Iron Man solo from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, because Iron Man 3 kind of like wrapped that whole thing up in a way.
Well, how is he going to do the Avengers if he's not Iron Man anymore, the next Avengers series?
Well, he's signed to do through 3, and then I think he would back out, which means Iron Man would kind of step aside as far as the franchise is concerned, and if they wanted to keep the Avengers rolling, then you bring in new characters, and Iron Man just kind of steps aside. Your thoughts on this, because you're looking forward to Rise of the Guardians, which is another Marvel...
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, sorry.
That's a different movie.
I know. I got Rise of the Guardians because I just happened to see it not
The
too long
Owl
ago.
movie.
You're looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy. That's
Right.
Marvel. That's fringe Avengers. Ant-Man kind of fringe Avengers in that general universe. You're looking forward at this and going, am I... In your opinion, am I somewhere in the vicinity of where I think they're going with this?
It is quite possible. At the same time, the cool thing about Iron Man is more than likely when Downey steps down, they may retire the character because people are so used to him
They'll certainly
doing
table it for a while.
But they could bring in War Machine, which
True.
his friend Rhodey.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sure that once they introduce Ant-Man, I'm more than likely he will be part of the team after that.
And you can move one out, put another one in.
Into
and
the
that's kind of
Avengers
interesting part.
franchise?
Yeah, I think
He was one of the founding members.
And I mean, not to mention, you have had times in the comic series where he's built an Iron Man machine that is, pretty much self-automated.
Well, kind of like all the suits at the end. Jarvis was
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
that entire army of suits.
So
I think
he
there's
doesn't have to show up, but Iron Man can still be there.
Yeah, there's a very specific reason I believe that he was running those remote control in Iron Man 3 so much.
Yeah. Setting up a table, kind of like we said. Let's go over to Wolverine, David here. Wolverine's kind of been portrayed, 6 times by Hugh Jackman? Is that right?
Something like that.
6 or 7.
3 X-Men,
2 Wolverines,
and a cameo in Days of First Class.
Yeah,
So 7.
6
He's
times.
he's on his 8th time.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
How much longer can he do it?
Jackman was talking to the Toronto International Film Festival and said that his time as Wolverine is nearing the end. He said, I do feel that if there are more movies, there would have to be a really good reason for it.
Oh. Final approval on a script?
As far as we know, it looks like the Days of Future Past might be his last.
Okay. It will be interesting because I think that's the big splash that they're looking for that might reignite the franchise, because it's been kind of lackluster the past couple of films, whether it's Wolverine or whether it's the X-Men First Class.
Lackluster? What?
It has been lackluster, and rightfully
First Class
so.
is the second best X-Men movie.
Rightfully
Agreed.
so. It has been.
I'm talking about
lackluster.
received box office wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to face it when it comes to the money.
Yeah, but First Class made bank. Wolverine tanked because, as we all know, Wolverine was a terrible film.
First Class was actually pretty good.
Darn right it is, Jack.
But Singer was involved much more than he was with the Wolverine.
All right. Well, we'll see where it goes.
What movie are you talking about? There was an original Wolverine movie.
Something you choose to forget,
This
sir.
one I just saw this summer. Was it the first solo Wolverine movie? I could have sworn it was.
Let's go from Marvel to DC here. Ben Affleck, the new Batman, kind of surprising to some people. Some people really railed against it. We kind of thought, you know what? We've seen Ben Affleck at his worst, Geely. We've seen him really be able to bounce back. I mean, things like Argo, films like that. And not only and his acting ability and his directing ability. We all kind of said, you know what? We're willing to we'll wait and see how it goes. He seems to, not just us, but more and more people seem to be won over by him.
The Warner Brothers CEO, Kevin Tsujihara, now keep in mind he was talking to investors, so he might have been just lying in some of this, but he said that he believes that Ben Affleck is, quote, the perfect choice, or the perfect vision, is perfect for the vision. We think it's going to be huge. And he also described Ben Affleck's Batman as kind of tired and weary and seasoned and been doing it for a while.
So an older Batman?
God, they should have so gone with Josh Brolin. Why didn't they go Brolin if that's what they wanted?
Brolin? That's the worst name you could come up with. Jim Caviezel for Person of Interest would have been the perfect choice.
Well, if they're looking for a little older, though, Caviezel, I don't think, he's still got a younger look to him. I mean, Ben Affleck has a more aged look.
He
does in the
Batman?
town.
No, he doesn't. Jim Caviezel has a better aged look.
I like Jim Caviezel, but he's not big enough and strong enough looking to be a Batman. I would be like, are you kidding me?
Affleck looks tired and pretty
I have
old
seen
in the
Person
town.
of Interest, and I like Jim, but no.
I think Caviezel's a good actor. I just don't see him in Batman. I will say this. I don't.
Dude.
I don't see it.
Dude, the Jesus jokes would be uncontrollable.
And we've already dealt with that here. We made a promo out of it.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't see it. I'm not sure that I see Brolin there.
Not even
totally.
close. That guy's not even in the same league as Affleck.
Like when you say Jim Caviezel, I think like Leonardo DiCaprio playing Batman. Like that's the same level.
Tell you what.
Hello.
If you haven't watched
That's
it,
just a bad picture.
Go watch the trailer for Spike Lee's Old Boy with Josh Brolin. Once you watch that and just look how just craggy and tough he looks in that movie, tell me he would not be a perfect older Batman.
I continue to cry to the heavens for Michael Fassbender.
Let's just put Gerard Butler in there and everybody will shut up.
I don't think that'll happen.
300
I
and
would not shut
Bruce
up. Without
Willis
the beard,
is
he has no
Batman.
chin.
Bruce
Willis. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You know,
Oh my
You
gosh.
know what? If Bruce Willis, if they
Did someone
actually
say Zach Galifianakis on the phone?
if they actually adapted The Dark Knight Returns, where Batman's like 60, Bruce Willis would do a wonderful job.
Roseanne Barr is Batman.
Zach Galifianakis, hey Superman, what you doing over there, buddy?
Am I the only one kind of hoping for Will Ferrell?
Shia LaBeouf.
That was when we was just sidekicks.
Actually, I was thinking if we get a really, really old Batman, we could do Michael Douglas.
Oh.
Or put Michael Keaton back in there.
Yeah, no kidding. Just come right
Or
back
just
around.
use Kevin
full
Conroy.
circle. Come right back around for full circle. I like it. All right, here. Let's go back to 2015, Ryan. Among the films that, they're thinking are going to be big. Fourth installment of the Jurassic Park franchise. They're not going Jurassic Park 2 or Jurassic Park 3. This one a little bit kind of a different title, Ryan?
Yes, sir. They've changed the name of the film. It's going to be called Jurassic World, which came out of nowhere, in my opinion. And it's going to hit theaters everywhere in the summer of 2015, actually.
Do we know a plot? They get loose off of the island and start taking over the planet, or what?
Well, they already kind of did that in the third one.
I don't know about the third one. I mean, they kind of took over San Francisco in the second one, but we don't count that.
Oh, wait. Was it that the second one? I might have mixed that up.
At the end of the third one, pterodactyls are flying over the ocean.
That's right.
As they leave the island.
So that probably will be where they pick it up.
Hmm.
All right.
Could be. But we'll see what happens. It's also going to be shot in 3D, which is something we all love and enjoy.
Hey, Spielberg's not attached to it, right?
He's going to be producing the film, not directing.
Goodness gracious. I'm not in on that. No.
I don't know. We got to talking about it on the Guys Morning Show here,
Yeah.
and we came up with the idea of, because they're both Spielberg franchises, I want to see Jurassic Park versus Jaws.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
And he could be like
Jurassic Park versus Transformers. Because he's the producer on both of them, you know.
Jurassic Park versus Transformers versus Pacific Rim.
It could be like prehistoric sharks, like megalodons.
Did any of you guys catch the Sci-Fi Channel Dino Shark?
No, but I heard of it.
Awful.
Well, of course it was.
Guys,
my
we should
gosh,
just
it was
always
ridiculous.
watch the Sci-Fi Channel. They have the greatest
I think
things.
so.
greatest.
Speaking of 2015, Jacob, we were supposed to get the fifth film in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Something has changed there. What?
Yeah, Disney's moved off its summer 2015 release date for Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
Fear of the Lone Ranger syndrome.
Yeah, and
Jack Sparrow blinks at Marvel.
They're now looking to move it to summer 2016. They say that it wasn't worth rushing until they're sure the script is right. And they say
and we were certain that Johnny Depp's life survives Lone Ranger.
I'll tell you what it is. They've got that. They own Disney. I mean, Marvel, so they've got that summer packed already.
Well, I mean,
they want this to make more money. So
well, I mean, already
they didn't want to swamp themselves.
Already that summer they have the sequel to the Avengers. They've got Star Wars. They've got Ant-Man and Inside Out from Pixar. So, I mean,
I forgot about that. Chances are we don't have a release date, but we know late May will be Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Jurassic World is going to be on June 12th of 2015.
Okay, so you got Marvel's The Avengers Part 2, Avengers Age of Ultron, coming in first weekend in May?
I believe so, yeah.
Late in May, you've got Star Wars. Then you've got going back to, Avengers World with, Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see why they moved this out of there.
Right, yeah, it's like, you know what? Maybe we don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot.
I'm going to need to get into another tax bracket to survive summer 2015.
Pretty much.
I'm just
Pretty much.
I'll tell you what, New Year's resolution is everybody just walks up to the box office and says, shut up and take my money.
Yeah. That's about it.
It stinks all the great films are coming out the next year. I
don't know. We got a pretty funny one coming out this Christmas here. Ryan, you sent me a trailer for a story about retired boxers coming out of retirement to have one more shining moment in the ring. Coming out in Christmas, it's entitled Grudge Match. What do you know?
Yes, sir. It's the classic battle of Sylvester Stallone versus Robert De Niro. They fought each other back in the day 30 years before, and it was tied 1-1. They didn't have a tiebreaker, so what happens? 30 years goes by, and they come up with the idea. It's like, let's put you guys back in the ring, and let's fight this one out one-on-one one last time. And that's where the comedy and the hijinks kind of ensue. It's more of a, kind of a comedy thing looking at this with Sly Stallone versus De Niro, and it's going to hit theaters everywhere on Christmas Day of this year.
Yeah, don't think this is Rocky taking on Raging Bull. This is the caricature of Rocky taking on the caricature of Raging Bull.
This seems like a producer sat down and was like, what if we could take the Expendables and mix it with Rocky Balboa? What would we get? And
this is Rocky versus Raging Bull.
It has nothing to do with the franchise,
in a comedic
right?
take.
It's nothing to do with Rocky.
Absolutely
it looks
nothing.
really funny.
But they wink so hard at both of those films.
Of course they do, yeah.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to
it.
It
looks hilarious. It really does.
Sounds like a bunch of raging baloney to me.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jeff. I feel that same way.
I don't know, but I'm kind of looking forward to it, just for the heck of it. One more thing real quick, then we'll take a break. Casting news on Hunger Games continues to come out like every week, and just before we went on the air today, we found out the latest. This is nothing to do with Catching Fire. This has to do with Mockingjay.
Yeah, Lionsgate announced Friday that four-time Academy Award nominee Julianne Moore has joined the cast of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Parts 1 and 2 as President Alma Coin, the leader of the rebellion against the Capitol.
Ooh,
so it just keeps getting
choice,
deeper and
guys.
deeper.
I started to say, that's a great casting.
Yeah.
Dude, she's perfect.
Yep. And Catching Fire comes out Thanksgiving.
And she's a good actor, too.
Cannot wait.
Yep.
Cannot wait.
There we go.
Awesome.
All right, when we come back, we're going to transition to TV by talking about what you can take home movie-wise or TV series-wise on Blu-ray and or DVD, and a lot of TV news, actually. We get to talk about the following. We get to talk about Breaking Bad. Not for long, but we get to talk about it. And a BBC show, the classic Doctor Who. We got news on that and more.
You're listening to the Entertainment Roundtable on Superstation 101. Hope you got your popcorn, because we're back to the Entertainment Roundtable on Superstation 101.
Welcome back into the show here as we gear up. What is, as we come back to the theme song to Law & Order, you had some news, Ryan, about NBC, Law & Order, when they come back. What year is Law & Order SVU into now?
15.
15. Okay,
15
so they're
years.
still 5 seasons shy of the original.
Right, yes.
There's a part of me that wonders whether NBC is going to give them that.
Oh, I think they're going to do it, Jack.
You think? Okay.
Big
I'll be
time,
interested to
big
see.
time.
I mean, I know that they like Dick Wolf a lot, but it seems like the buzz about Law & Order SVU has gone down the past couple of years, or is that just me?
No, I think some of it has because with the departure of Stabler, it left a big hole in a lot of fans' hearts. But let me give you a little thing we like to call a reality check. You can't play the same character your entire life, number one. Number two, you can't play a cop for your whole life. So you know what you got to do? You got to move on and do bigger and better things, and that's why Stabler left. But you know what? Mariska Hargitay is there. She's the heart. She's the soul. She's the powerhouse of SVU, and I truly believe with my heart of hearts that she's going to carry this thing to season 21.
If she leaves that show, it is gone.
Oh, yeah, totally. She's the heart and soul and powerhouse, brother.
Let's stay with NBC here. Jacob, Katherine Heigl set to come back to TV? New drama? Tell me about it.
Yeah, NBC has offered to put a pilot order to a CIA drama starring Katherine Heigl. It's titled Project, and I don't know if that's a placeholder
Working title?
Yeah, but it's called Project. It's from Universal TV. It centers on a key CIA analyst whose job is to debrief the U.S. president on the most pressing national and global issues.
Okay.
Don't have any kind of release dates or anything like that yet.
By the
Too
way,
early.
By the way, 10 days.
That's how long it'll last?
No. 10 days till Marvel's Agents of
Oh.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, that's right. Don't you have like a rendezvous at your house?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's invited.
I've heard that they...
Not everyone on the radio
Will there be
audience.
cosplayers?
Everybody here.
You'll have 600 people at your
Yeah,
house.
really.
Has anybody else heard about the fact that they're not exactly 100% happy with it at this point, that Whedon's been called in to do a few rewrites on some things?
Okay.
No,
bring
I
it.
didn't hear this. Why?
Okay.
That's okay. Fun.
No, I didn't hear
I
that.
don't care. Rewrite it. Make it perfect. Let's do
I know,
it.
right?
10 days.
Okay, I was just...
10 days. Just saying. Not that I'm counting down or anything. Over to the Fox network and the following when the Kevin Bacon show returns. New people, new bad and good people going to be coming on board. And for fans of the now... Is it now defunct or soon to be defunct show True Blood, Ryan?
Soon to be.
Soon to be? Okay.
Thank God.
They're going to get to see one of their favorites. In what way is this person coming aboard the following, Ryan?
Yes, sir. Connie Preston's going to come on there, and she's going to play the role of Lily, one of, if not the biggest follower, quote-unquote, of Joe Carroll. Spoiler alert, Joe Carroll is still alive, and he's going to be coming back for Season 2.
Well, that would be the crux of Season 2, wouldn't it? There you go.
Pretty much.
Wait, is the following the one where everybody kills everybody? It's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the
Kevin
first...
Bacon. Kevin Bacon's the government agent trying to catch the serial killer who's
It got
out.
too weird. When they got to the headquarters where there was they were in a confine together.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm out. This is weird.
Couldn't follow it anymore?
It just wasn't realistic.
I would say this.
The following.
My wife, after 3 episodes, left because she's like, I can't pay attention to so many subplots.
There was so many
kind of the problem.
subplots. I didn't.
Oh, come on.
But
It's not that complicated.
Hey, I will say this. I love the show.
Is it getting better? Is it pretty
I
good?
like it. I like it a lot. But then
I
again,
think it's getting better, too. I mean, you got Kevin Bacon and James Purefoy. Those guys play off of each other so well.
but then again, I look at some of the other stuff that's out there, like Honey Boo Boo and Survivor, and I'm thinking to myself, this is so much better than that slag, crap, junk. Anyway, over to AMC, the hit show Breaking Bad set to come to an end, but the world isn't, Jacob. What do we mean by that?
Yeah, AMC has announced in a joint statement with Sony Pictures that they are working on a Breaking Bad spinoff called Better Call Saul. The new series will serve as a prequel to Breaking Bad and center on Saul Goodman, the attorney that eventually becomes Walter White's lawyer. Bob Odenkirk is back to play Goodman in the series and will star in the spinoff.
When he said that, you got a quick smile on your face because I know you're a big Breaking Bad fan there, Jeff.
It was more of a grimace.
Oh, was it a grimace?
It really
okay, it looked
was.
like a smile, and then when it said sequel, you went, or prequel, you went, oh, no.
Well, because that takes out any tension that may ever come. We know that Saul will live through anything that ever happens on that show. At the same time, from what I read, it's going to be like an hour long.
Yeah, it's an hour long.
What? I honestly don't know if he could sustain an hour long.
But it's Bob Odenkirk.
I like me some Bob Odenkirk, and I like the character of Saul. I just don't know. Then again, if it's the folks who are behind Breaking Bad at the helm, I trust them.
You're going to give him benefit of the doubt?
Sure.
Peter Gould is spearheading the project. So,
But it's Bob Odenkirk in a leading role. It'll be canceled.
That's true. Very true.
I need to get back into Breaking Bad. I got 3 seasons in, and it just got too bad, and it just was so
I just gotta tell you, dude, it is so paid.
so melodramatic.
off.
Does it?
These last few episodes have been some of the best television I've ever seen.
I've heard that. And the first season for me was like addictive. I was with you. I was on the crazy Breaking Bad people bandwagon.
It was almost like a drug.
Wow.
I think ever since he was cured from cancer, in I don't know what season that was. Spoiler.
Thanks.
2, 3.
I kind of fell off the bandwagon. I was just kind of like, there's no urgency anymore. And
Trust me, fella, there's all kinds of new urgency brought in all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I really like that show.
I will say,
have they been playing "Urgent" by Foreigner on the soundtrack?
No.
Oh, really?
Oh, come on.
If you should YouTube not Jimmy Kimmel. What's the other guy? Jimmy Fallon. Breaking Joke. It's pretty funny.
Joking Bad. I saw
Joking
the
Bad,
link.
yeah.
Joking Bad. I've heard about that, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Ryan, over to the USA Network. News of their newest, isn't it? I think, original series, Graceland. Isn't that their latest one?
Yes, sir.
All right, we know about their future.
Yes, sir. It is awesome. It is great. Graceland is not going anywhere anytime soon because USA Network has given it the green light for a 13-episode Season 2, debuting somewhere during the summertime of 2014.
I have on my DVR the final episode of Burn Notice. I will watch it sometime this weekend. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, neither have I. I got to get to it as well.
I can't wait. Over to FX, Jacob. They have split their cable network kind of into two things. They've made a FXX, which is a comedy-oriented network, and then you got the regular FX, which I guess is going to be the action drama attitude network. Is that what we're going for?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. They've been given a go-ahead for a take on the movie American Psycho. Aren't we going back a little too far for this?
Well, they're developing a TV series sequel to American Psycho. The novel told the story of a wealthy young investment banker in the late 1980s who moonlit as a serial killer. And they released a movie starring Christian Bale in 2000. The FX version will be set years after the events in the book and star the main character in his 50s who takes on a new apprentice.
Starring Josh Brolin. No?
And I, not interested.
When do they want to get this? I mean, this is just a pilot that they're
just
pitching?
a pilot that they've just picked up the pilot. We don't know when it's going to be coming out.
I remember the movie American Psycho. You want to talk about a weird film?
Oh
that
my
was like a
gosh.
mind trip
The
and
one
a
with
half.
Christian Bale in it?
Yeah.
Like, I literally watched that movie and I felt weird and sick afterwards.
It was very odd.
I don't like movies where, movies are obviously a vicarious emotional experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like living through the head of a serial killer, like feeling the same feelings he has. That
It was almost as odd as going.
He doesn't like foreigners either, apparently.
Yeah, really.
Oddly enough, I watched it like 100 times and I felt nothing.
I think that says something about you.
We should have all been quiet for
Yeah, really. To me, watching American Psycho was kind of like watching the film Apt Pupil.
Never seen it.
Nope.
Read the book. Never saw
I
the
imagine
movie.
it's the same way I felt with Pain and Gain.
Ian McKellen
Crazy.
just plays this former Nazi officer, SS officer, I think. It's been years since I've seen it, but plays it to a T. And the premise is that his character comes to America after World War II and kind of melds himself into society. And this kid finds a little bit out about the past of Ian McKellen's character and starts falling into that world. And it's just so weird.
Wow.
So yeah. I don't necessarily recommend it, but I found out that
That's
that was the subject material, and because when it comes to history, my fascination seems to be surrounding World War II. I went, okay, I'm going to check this out, and I was just like, wow, what a weird film.
Bryan Singer, correct?
I do believe. Mm-hmm. I do believe.
Wasn't that a Stephen King short story?
It was from 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Over to BBC, one of the shows that you can see on BBC America got one of the longest running shows in the history of television. This thing's been on for 5 decades.
Yes.
Doctor Who.
It's been around for 5 decades.
Well, yeah, not necessarily on here.
They took like 10 years off in the UK.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a break.
People love this show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see some of this on BBC America, not necessarily all of it. What are the people in America going to see of their planned celebration for Doctor Who?
Well, they have a ton of programming coming up to celebrate the 50th anniversary, but what we can see, and I'm sure you can find the other stuff online somewhere, but what we can see is the 75-minute...
You can find everything online now.
Yeah. You can find they'll be airing on November 23rd, which is the actual 50th anniversary. They'll be airing the 75-minute 50th anniversary special, which is entitled The Day of the Doctor, and it'll feature Matt Smith as the current 11th Doctor, teaming up with David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, against John Hurt, who will be a mysterious former Doctor.
What is the premise of this show?
Wow.
I'll explain it to you later.
It takes a minute.
Yeah, I was about to
We don't
say,
have
Jeff,
time.
how much time do we have left in the show here?
Not
enough.
Not eternity. No.
They'll also
50 years.
They'll also be airing a 90-minute drama called An Adventure in Space and Time, chronicling the origins of the show and starring Harry Potter's David Bradley as William Hartnell, the first Doctor from 1963.
God, David Bradley. Remind me who he was in Harry Potter. Anybody? Quick.
Not a huge Harry Potter fan.
David Bradley.
Chirp, chirp.
He wasn't Ron, so
No,
Awkward silence.
Yeah, that was Ron Weasley. Or Ron,
Did he play Harry Potter?
I didn't see Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
He did Harry Potter.
Is he Harry or Potter?
Did he play Hermione?
I don't think
Past
he
that, I
did.
don't know.
All right, I had this conversation. We got to talking about Mom's Night Out.
Yep.
We were going to try and see like a rough cut earlier this week, and I sat down and what?
he
What'd you
played
find?
the groundskeeper of the school, the old guy with the cat.
Gotcha.
Oh, he's also in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he is.
Gotcha. Now I've got his face. Okay, anyway, we were talking about this, and I got to talking about films that are coming out later this year.
Yep.
Hunger Games, obviously, the next Hobbit. We've got so many films that we're looking forward to just in
Yeah.
the holiday season. We talked about this just a couple of weeks ago here on the show. We just got done talking about what's coming in the summer of 2015. And I looked at him and said, 2014 could be a really bad year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started thinking about some of the films that are actually slated to come out. Next year might not be as much of a wasteland as we feared. Ryan, and I know this is kind of throwing us real quickly here, but 2014, which initially most people thought, this is the year where everyone's just kind of ignoring everything, waiting till 2015.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, say for things like the first round of Hunger Games, Mockingjay, the last version of The Hobbit, the last installment of The Hobbit. What else is coming out in 2014 that you can think of right off on the top of your head?
Isn't Guardians of the Galaxy supposed to hit?
Yeah.
So we got that. We've got Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yep.
In the month of April. Yeah, that's right.
So it's not like we're not going to have anything to see, but most of the really big name films, for whatever reason, seem to all have been shoved into 2015. Do anybody know why?
I don't know. It's weird. It tends to be that way, though. It tends to be like there's a really on year where films are great, and there's kind of an in between year, and then there's another. You know, it's.
What would this
So
year
somehow,
be?
somehow,
This
20
year was the promised on year.
I will say this:
The
2013,
broken promise is what this year was.
2013, the first half of the summer, really good.
Yeah.
But right about the time we got the Lone Ranger, all of a sudden we started looking at a heck of a lot of duds.
Got a few good movies coming out.
We had a couple of good movies out. Yeah, surprise like We're the Millers.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of the films that were supposed to be the big blockbuster films for the second half of the summer fizzled.
Yeah.
You know, I hope that maybe.
But we do have a good
2014
winter coming up.
Maybe 2014 is going to be a year of surprises for us because
I would think so.
we had such high expectations for this year, and we honestly were let down a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe next year it's the year that everybody kind of thinks that not a lot of good stuff is coming out, and maybe because of that we'll have some real surprise hits, some good movies that are original and change the game up a bit.
Yeah,
Maybe
Captain America, Godzilla, the RoboCop remake.
Wait, they're making the RoboCop looks awesome.
Yeah, I will say this: the
RoboCop
RoboCop, I
looks
was
great.
more impressed by the trailer than I thought originally I would be.
Oh, I was not looking
Days of
forward to
Future
that film.
Past. You got Amazing
Are they
Spider-Man
making
2.
Godzilla?
The guy who
yeah,
directed
they are.
Monsters.
Days of Future Past and RoboCop. Oh yeah, never mind.
Wait,
2015,
Monsters.
We got a good slate.
Wait, which director? Pete Docter?
No,
Not Monsters Inc.
no, Monsters.
not Monsters, Inc.,
The
Monsters.
independent film about.
Oh,
Yeah, I forget his name.
they should just got
Is it Gareth Edwards?
They should have got the Pac Rim guy to do
Del Toro?
Yeah, they could do Godzilla. That would
Or
be
Del
awesome.
Toro?
Yeah,
Okay,
Del
Del
Toro.
Toro.
I think
Whatever.
he just did Godzilla, didn't he?
Basically, but if he could just have like Pac Rim verse Godzilla,
Yeah, there you go.
that would be awesome.
See, I'm here to tell you, we've got all the mashups right here. I mean, Jurassic Park versus Jaws.
Pac Rim versus Godzilla.
Absolutely. And then the winner takes on each other.
I like it.
That's 2016 right there. See, we got it all planned.
Jurassic Jaw NATO.
Ryan, if we have any questions for you, do we have a place to go? Where can we go?
Go to Facebook.com/TheRPM Show, Film or TV. We would love to hear from you.
All right, we get to talk to you again next week right here, and we appreciate your time. Enjoy the weekend, sir.
Yes, sir. You do the same. Thank you very much for having me on the show. You guys take care and don't work too hard.
Nah, we never do. Appreciate it so much. Josh, David, thank you so
yes,
much for
sir.
coming in. Jacob, thank you so much for the hard work. Nice
Always
job
glad
on the
to be
intro
here.
as well. And Jeff, thank you for hanging around and being the producer of it.
I wouldn't miss it, guys.
There we go. Entertainment Roundtable done for another week. Don't forget replays. Tomorrow will be preempted because of NASCAR, but hey, there's one this evening, 7 p.m. Hopefully you'll join us again then, and join us again next week right here on the Entertainment Roundtable. Fastest hour in radio. Dustin and I are going to talk a whole lot of racing. That's coming up right after a break.